Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. I'm David from Kwixand Solutions. If you're looking into ERP implementations, chances are you've read the horror stories. You're probably aware of the statistics out there that say about 50% of all ERP implementations can be listed as failures, usually because they go over schedule or over budget, or what was promised was never delivered. Let's look at the process first. How the process typically works is that a salesperson collects high-level requirements from the potential ERP buyer. They would take those requirements back to the implementation or professional services team members to discuss what the customer has stated they need. Often they go back to the customer with more questions and take the answers back to their team. And the team comes up with a high-level ballpark estimate for the implementation costs. The salesperson will go back to the customer and give them the estimated cost of how much it would be, typically under a time and materials type of project, to implement their new ERP solution. If the customer decides to go ahead, what happens next in the process is that the professional services implementation team performs an intensive interview process with the customer's resources. They go deep in depth to learn about business process requirements and challenges with the current system. And after that process review, very often something has been uncovered that was not discovered in the initial high-level review with the salesperson. Something that may have a severe impact on the required effort to implement the solution, and that raises the cost or it extends the schedule. Typically, the salesperson should go back to the customer, inform them, and ask them what they want to do about this potential change. However, that's not always what happens. Sometimes you get those cases where the professional services team finds out that there's more effort required on the project, but just doesn't advise the customer about the extra cost or the extended time it'll take. They just begin the project. And because it's being billed in time and materials, they just keep going to deliver the project. That's a primary reason why ERP implementations have such a bad reputation for going over time and budget, because some ERP teams don't stop after that review and be honest. Well, if you're a small business and your accounting system just isn't up to the mark anymore, and you're looking at your first ERP solution, but you want to draw a box around those costs and the timeline, one option is to look into a lean or a fixed fee implementation. In those, you constrain the budget and schedule because you have already agreed to very specific predefined deliverables and modules. However, with lean implementation, you must ensure that the partner you are working with gives you in-depth detail into what those deliverables are. That will reduce risk because then you know exactly what you're getting for X amount of dollars of investment. That's another critical element, picking the right partner to handle your implementation. Your ERP partner really needs to be someone you trust to be honest with you. You need to try and find partners who have the same values you do. So review their websites, look at what their value and mission statements are, talk to them, elicit those values, and try to find the team with the most people on it whose values align with your corporate values and your personal values, and you'll be just fine. So I've been involved in the ERP space for over 25 years, and something that I've found is that at the end of the day, it's the people that make the difference in an ERP implementation, whether it's successful or high value or not. It's the people on the implementation team, the partners, never the software, and that's why it's so important you choose the right partner. Thanks for watching. You can learn more about Kwixand Solutions and how we help businesses digitally transform at kwixand.com.